Good afternoon. Good to see everyone. Thanks for being here. And I would be remiss if I didn't start by understanding that the events that took place 22 years ago today have affected our lives, and it'll be a day that is never forgotten by all of us. And I want to make sure that the understanding of how precious life is and how much of an opportunity we have to live where we do, and I'm thankful for those that allow us those freedoms. Going into and looking back at the film from Saturday, it's about what I really thought as the game unfolded. A very talented team in Michigan. They controlled the line of scrimmage really on both sides. We couldn't effectively get a run game going inside between the tackles or even on the perimeter. And then defensively, we gave up too many yards in the passing game early on when our ability or lack of to match up routes, to play zone concepts, and that effectively brought us out of that thought and moved more into some man concepts, which I think our kids did a nice job of that. Offensively, when we started moving the pocket a little bit more quicker action in our throw game, that opened up some things as well. And I really studied things. I'm big in what our body language is like and how we not only start the game, but at that point in the fourth quarter when we probably realized we weren't going to win the game, how did we respond and how did we play? What was the sideline like? How did we finish plays? And I was proud of what I thought I saw on Saturday and then what was backed up on video. We'll build from it. I don't ever want to sit here and have the thought of, I don't like losing. Our team doesn't like losing. We're not going to get accustomed to losing. We're not judged on effort alone. We're judged on results. And right now we're 1-1, and we have such a tremendous opportunity with the 10 games left in our regular season on how we're going to perform. I look at the opportunities coming up in short order here with Vanderbilt coming to town, how our preparation started with them as a staff yesterday, and then our kids today. Was a really great start to the week. There's hunger in the locker room. There's excitement. We're excited to be playing back at home. We need a home field advantage. And this team has got really, really strong resolve. I look at their excitement to get ready to get back into the game plan on our Week 3 opponent as at a very high level. And I feel like that we will make another jump on playing well together in all three phases. I think we'll play our best ball on Saturday. And that's the key. That's the goal. Continue to motivate, direct, and move them in a position where they can play winning football. And we've made mistakes. Week 1 and Week 2, we've made mistakes. You correct those, you move forward, and don't make the same mistake again. So excited to be where we are. From a health standpoint, we got out of the game about as good as we could get. And the left guard and left tackle, Alani and St. John, they were limited to out on Saturday with an injury, and both of them practiced today, so that was good to see. That'll help us from a cohesion standpoint on offense. And defensively had no injuries. So with that, I'd be happy to open it for questions.
Coach, special teams. Can you talk about the improvements that you've seen both on film and also on the field? I saw a chart that said that UNLV leads the nation in efficiency on special teams.
That's awesome, isn't it? I mean, it's a short study of work right now for 2 games, but there's also 130 whatever teams right now that have had 2 games. So I put it up in front of our team this morning in our meeting. I want them to embrace that, and the goal is at the end of Week 12 that we're still number 1. That's got to be an X factor for us. We spend a lot of time on it. It will win games for us. And again, I think James Shebist is as good I think he's the best special teams coordinator in football. And sure glad we have him. He gives us a schematic advantage. Our kids are embracing how important that is. When you look at field position, we've got a really good returner in Jesus, and I think guys are taking ownership. If we can give him just a little bit of room in the punt return game and the kick return game, that he can make some things happen. I think our kickoff coverage has been extremely solid up to this point. They hit us with a different scheme Saturday than what they had shown, and then we made a correction after the first one and made a really good play the next time out. We had chances there. We missed, a handful of tackles there on the sideline. Returner made a good gain. But our guys are understanding they're very coachable, and they're excited to be on special teams. And that was one of the foundational approaches in what I wanted to set out to do is we've got to be really, really good on special teams because there's so many hidden yards there that if we're good in that area, that will relieve some pressure on the other two sides of the ball.
We talk about Doug being a captain, a leader on this team. What leadership did you see from him today in practice?
It was good. He was steady, locked in. I think he was a little more vocal in a leadership way, which was good to hear. Getting guys on the same page, understanding some of the new concepts that we put in for this week. He had a really good grasp after a 45-minute meeting on what we wanted to try to get accomplished. And all of our captains did a nice job. And, the quarterback's always going to have that opportunity because his voice is usually louder than most because he's talking all the time. And so he had a good first day.
With your offensive line back to full health, what do you want to see from those guys this week?
We need to control the line of scrimmage, and we've got to be able to run the ball. And, it doesn't have to be the power play for 25 snaps, but we've got to be able to get a push. We've got to play physical. And if we can run the ball on offense, that opens everything else up. So that'll be a huge focal point for us this week. And then we need to establish it on Saturday, a physical presence of what that looks like.
What's been holding you back from creating those lanes in the running game so far? What do you think you can do better up front?
Well, I think, number one, Michigan's pretty darn good. If you look at their, front 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, they'll have a number of draft picks. Right now, we don't. I thought we ran the ball well week 1, and we'll get back to having the chance to run it. It's the combination block of a double team working up to the next level, the angles, the eyes, and the hand placement. Those things that can be fundamentally corrected, we're continuing to work on. And then some of it comes down to the runner making the right cut and getting north and south. We've got the guys to do it I think every opportunity, whether it's inside zone, whether it's gap scheme that we get into, whether it's quarterback run. There's some small details and fundamentals that we'll continue to work on. And I think we've got a chance offensively to be a really good team running the football.
How would you describe this team through 2 weeks? It's kind of hard for us to tell, you played an FCS team and then you played the number 2 team in the nation. I guess, how would you describe this group after 2 weeks?
I think we've made improvements. I think we're better week 2 than we were week 1. And again, I think the consistent pursuit of trying to be as good as we can be, we'll see a better team week 3. I think they're hungry. They want to be coached. They want discipline. They want structure. They're liking the game, not just the 3.5 hours on Saturday. They're embracing playing together. I think they're still a little feeling it out, if that makes sense. But also they understand that the process is hard, and winning is hard. But that's okay. You've got to embrace that, and this team is right now going, 2 weeks in.
You feel like size-wise you match up a little better with Vanderbilt?
I knew of their roster very detailed, obviously, the last couple of years because of being in the same league. I think Michigan's 27-3, I think, in the last 2 years, and they look like that up close and in person. Vanderbilt has recruited, Coach Lee's recruited really well. He's big up front. He's getting to that model. in that league of being really big on both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. He's got elite guys on the outside, a couple of receivers, guys that get a chance to get the ball in the hands. They got great speed. I think comparatively, I think we're close. I don't know pound for pound what that looks like, but every week's going to be, every week's unique in its challenge and opportunity. And this one, they do a lot of things on offense and pressure-wise on defense that we're going to have to play really well. And that is the challenge to get us in that position this week.
How does Vanderbilt, already having played a Mountain West team in Hawaii, kind of help your guys' preparation for this?
Well, they played 3 games, so that's great for the breakdown. That's great for tendencies, and obviously now they look self-scout. You change those tendencies up, but we'll take all the information we can get. And so 3 games with the week 0 game for them, that helps with the input on what we have, the information. Maybe tells a little bit more on who they are. Really have taken who they're playing out of it, but what do they do? What's their DNA? And then forming the game plan around that.
Week 3 of the football season, what kind of support have you seen from the city for your team?
Well, I think it's great, and I think I said post-game Saturday, it's my vision and plan, and we're going to get there. But I want Allegiant. I want the opposing team at some point that they've got to work on crowd noise before they come and play us. And I'm not going to stray from that. We're going to stay on the mission to get us there, get this program there. I'm so excited and thrilled about college football being important in this city. And we've got to continue to make it that. And we're hungry to give the city success. We're hungry to give the city a team that they want to go support. And I know this week will be better than it was week 2, and we're sure excited about playing at home.
Doug Bromfield's father was kind of vocal on Twitter, so you talked to Doug, you talked to the team. How do you deal with that outside noise? Because it happens on social media.
I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying Doug Brumfield's father was kind of vocal on Twitter, so I don't know if you saw it. But he was just basically saying, don't lay the blame at the team, Doug. So.
The quarterback position's hard. It's hard, and I can relate a little bit to that experience because I've got a son that's playing quarterback, and they get way too much. I'm not talking about Doug. I'm talking about quarterbacks in all of football. They get way too much praise and they get way too much blame. So I guess the narrative to that question overall for our team, we look at control the things that we can control. You're going to have to block out whatever noise is every single day. And that's as a competitor, that's in life. Everyone wants to hear how good they are. And that, to me, though, that softens your competitive spirit just as much sometimes as maybe someone talking negative. So it's never as great and never as bad as it seems in a lot of situations. And, for teams that are aligned on a mission to go play really well, they've got to be able to handle that. They've got to brush it off. Everybody, the thing with social media, everyone has a voice. Everyone's got a press release. Do you take any time spending on something that is said about you from someone you don't even know? That is a challenge in all walks of life. So we know, and in my belief, that what we have in our team, what we need to do, how well we can be preparing if we'll spend the time on the right way. I sure hope that we're not judging our performance on something that is driven by somebody probably that is not equipped to make comments about the performance. But that's life. I mean, there's so many. The world loves negativity for whatever reason. I choose to look at it the other way. But it will be, now that I know about it, it'll be a great teaching tool for our team to understand that those things, good and bad, they should not affect one thing about our preparation and our togetherness as a team.
Coach, a pivotal point of the game, UNLV was moving the football, had some momentum, start?
I don't think he ever completed, yeah, it's a really good point, because we did have had a little bit of momentum, had completed one or made a first down and right next at it. It was close. I don't think he ever controlled the ball completely. I've also learned not to make a lot of calls about or comments about officiating. They had every angle in the world in that stadium and chose for it not to be reviewable, which was ruled incomplete. Would have been really hard to overturn anyway. But I think there was an official there right on the sideline. I was asking him, and he said, I thought they did a nice job communicating as a crew. He said he never had complete control of it. And I was asking upstairs, it's the thing on game day, you want information from upstairs in the box, but you want right information, okay? You'd rather have no information than wrong information. And there was not enough of a replay upstairs of a camera angle that they saw in our coach's box that would warrant me trying to delay the game to get a review.
Immediately after the game in your press conference, you kind of made it a point to say, like, your goals are still achievable, a lot of season left, that sort of thing. Do you feel like that message has really set in with the players in the 2 days since then? What's your feeling on
I think so. I mean, dadgum. I mean, we're 1-1. We lost to the number 2 team in the country, and the last time I checked, we get a great opportunity this week, and then after that we get at least 9 more on the regular season. So we've got it's early. A lot's going to happen between now and the end of November, and the mental toughness and the resolve to be able to learn from what we didn't do well this week, apply it, and then go play winning football. That's one of the reasons you get up and go to work. So I'm excited about what this team's going to accomplish.
What specific improvements can Doug in the passing game make from week 2 to week 3?
Yeah, I think number one, it needs more time. Number two, the ability for some of our route concepts, improving those. I thought we had, still had a couple of tip balls in deflections, which we continue to work to catch the ball. And as that delivery, as that settling on zone and man concepts, there's a lot of things that go into that. But the consistency of what that looks like together, all phases working together, from protection, and that's not just the offensive line, that's the tight ends and the running backs on helping in protection, and then the route concepts on what they can improve on, and then playing catch. And that sounds very elementary, and I don't mean it to be an elementary statement, but there's a lot of people that are involved in making it work.
You just faced maybe the best quarterback in the country, top-rated quarterback, top 5 guys. What are you going to see here in A.J. Swan?
He's good. He's talented. I think he's got a live arm. He has been able to scramble and get out of trouble, extend plays. He looks savvy to me. I'm assuming he's a really smart football player, the way he plays the game, an understanding of what they're trying to accomplish. There's 3 or 4 clips that I tagged last night to look at again, because his arm angle and the way he changed where the ball went and the way he delivered the ball, really impressed with him as a player. I also watch his body language, his mechanics. It looks like the team follows him. I think he's a really good college football player. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Great week.
Amani, Coach Odom was just in here talking about getting the run game going this week. Do you see this as an opportunity for you guys to really show what you can do up front, maybe open some lanes, break up some big plays? How are you viewing this week coming up?
Absolutely, especially coming off this Michigan loss, man. I take a lot of pride in being able to run the ball and being able to be dominant in the run game. I told the guys, man, it was unacceptable to be able to lose the way we did. We didn't create enough lanes for our backs, for our playmakers. And then coming into Vanderbilt, we know that's a good team, SEC ball, going to be strong up front. These are some good guys we're going against. And I challenged the O-line and myself to move the line of scrimmage, to be consistent in the run game, which opens up a lot more plays for us. So, yes, after this Michigan loss, yeah, we're looking to be much better in the run game.
Some comfort level today with Machiavelli back and Galen back on the offensive line?
Definitely. We rotated a lot though throughout practice, throughout camp and the summer and everything. We rotated a lot, but being able to have these guys back, it means a lot. First game we were really dominant up front, so we're trying to continue to build that chemistry. You know what I mean? Going forward, good ball is played in October and late November, so definitely some comfort there.
Jackson, how do you guys respond to kind of a game like that? Obviously against the number 2 team in the country, but Amani said you guys didn't play the way you wanted to. How do you guys as a team respond to that?
Yeah, it's disappointing, obviously, to lose. You want to win every game. But you come in on Sunday and you watch the film, you see what you did wrong. We left a lot on the table, which hurts, but it's also a good thing. You can fix those mistakes. And then you come in on Monday and go to work. It's a new game. We have a big challenge with Vanderbilt, but we came in and worked. And so, yeah, I mean, it's another game this week. So.
Doug sacked 5 times in the first half. As a captain, leader on the line, what do you do when you guys sort of get swarmed like that? Do you pull guys aside? Is there a moment when you try to rally the troops, or what do you do moving forward from that?
All game on the sideline, man, I was, being vocal, being positive, trying to get our guys going. Like I said, we didn't play the way we wanted to, and it forced Doug to try to be the hero, to put on a cape when he shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? We have to be able to be consistent. So, like I said, during the game, I challenged the guys, and then after the game, I sent the text out to the guys just saying, look, we have to be better. We will get better moving forward. And it's our responsibility to keep Doug clean so he can get the ball to these playmakers. And when that happens, we're special. So,
Jackson, what are you telling your defense about this Vanderbilt team?
Yeah, they're obviously a good team. They come from a good conference. They got playmakers. So I think we approach it like every game. You come in, you watch film, and then our coaches are going to put together a great game plan, but us as players, we're going to have to be consistent and be able to execute that game plan. Yeah, it's just another game, so we're going to be ready.
A question for both of you. What is probably the biggest thing that you've learned about your team heading into week 3?
You got it. You got to answer.
The resiliency is what we're learning. We wanted it bad. We wanted it real bad. I believe there was some real belief in the air going into Michigan that this was a game that we could win. So being able to overcome that, and come out today, Monday is a big day, as far as your mindset and coming out ready to practice and getting the week going for your next opponent. So being able to wash that loss, getting that taste out of our mouth, and getting our heads focused on Vanderbilt, that's what I'm learning right now. We had a pretty solid day out there today, and we're only trying to build on that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as much as I'm learning about the team. I expected us to be a great team coming out of fall camp, and I think we are. We just got to put the little things together and keep executing and just be consistent. So it's not as much as that I'm shocked or I've learned much, but I expect to be great, and I think that's what we are. We just got to execute it.
Jackson, do you feel like you have a little bit more familiarity with a team like Vanderbilt since you have SEC experience and the coaching staff has SEC experience?
I guess, but football's football. We just played Michigan. All the guys saw big ball, and I think we can compete with anybody in the country. It doesn't matter who it is. So a lot of people look at the logos and stuff, and but I think we're going to be ready, and they're going to be a really good team, and our team's going to be ready for it.
I'm good.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Appreciate it.